Hello, hello. This is Pattyjo. How are you? Hi, I'm so happy to be doing this today. I am working tonight later, so I don't know how long I'll do it. We're gonna take a nap. We gotta maybe go grocery shopping. I'm gonna work on my grocery list while we try to wrap up day 11. Day 11 of Dum Dum Goblin Darrell. Welcome to everybody who is subscribing. I honestly do this as a hobby, so I really enjoy the fact that other people think like I do. So I'm sorry about some of the humming noises around me. There's some mowing going on outside. There's some meal prepping going on in the kitchen, and I am cheap and have a fan instead of turning on any kind of climate control at my home. So, let's see where we are. I have a funny feeling some of these are getting really interesting off of the breaks, and so I kind of want to. Even the dead air doesn't bother me because I don't want to miss what they come into and say when they first turn that stuff on. I know there's a way to just like skip a couple seconds. I wish I knew what it was. Scroll detail. Oh.
We are back on the record. It's 3:58. Appearances are as they were before. Jury is coming into the courtroom.
Subject matter jurisdiction.
Oh my God!
Your request, as I understand it, is noted. The objection is noted. It's overruled. We'll continue
Thank you.
with the questioning of a witness. You may call your next witness as soon as all the jurors get in the jury box. All right, thank you. Please be seated. Go ahead, sir. You may call your next witness.
Defense calls Heather R. Reamer.
Look at his face! Ooh! Ugh! Do I have this? I'm gonna go turn my meal prep. So I'm just gonna hit and let's look at his dumb look on his face. Get your half a pen.
Good afternoon, ma'am. If you would please make your way to the witness stand. When you get there, please remain standing. Raise your right hand. It is up a riser. Be mindful of that. And then my clerk, Teresa, will read.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Thank you, ma'am. Please have a seat. The first thing I will ask you to do is to state your first and last names for the record and then spell each.
Heather Reamer. HEATHERRIEMER.
Thank you. Go ahead, sir, your witness.
Good afternoon, Ms. Reamer. How are you feeling today?
I'm okay.
I want to direct your attention to the evening of November 21st of 2021. Do you recall what you were doing that evening?
I was at the WAUKESHA Christmas parade.
And do you recall who you were with at the parade?
I was with my husband and 3 friends and one of their children.
About what time, if you recall, did you and your family arrive?
Right before it started, we were running late, and then by the time we got to where we were seated, it was right before it started. I don't recall exact time.
Do you recall where you and your family were positioned along the parade route that evening?
At the time, I don't remember, but I later found out that it was the Historical Society.
What do you recall weather-wise that evening?
Weather-wise.
Chilly evening?
Yes.
If you recall.
Yes.
Pretty windy?
Pretty weak.
Yes.
His words. That is so narcissistic. These his phrases.
So I'm assuming at some point you observed a bit of commotion. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
And do you recall what that commotion was?
Everyone running around was the biggest commotion.
At that point, did the area you were positioned in get pretty loud, chaotic?
Yeah, screaming gets loud.
Before, do you remember what you and your family were doing directly prior to the parade that evening?
I don't recall.
At the point you observed this commotion, what did you do from that point?
Started running.
I'm assuming with you and your family all took the same course of action.
We all ran, yes.
And where did you run to?
Away from the parade route. I'm not familiar with streets. I'm thinking it's East Avenue. We ran down that road.
Would that be a side street connected to the main parade route, or?
What is your point? What are you getting at? First of all, we can clearly see this is not somebody who is going to give testimony that places any shade of doubt on what you did, who did it, when it happened, what happened, and how many people were injured, hurt, and unalived. This is clearly like somebody who was at the parade, was on a list for the prosecution, maybe came off for whatever reason, which we're probably going to see. It's either, like I think, redundant testimony, or she didn't have a good vantage point, somebody had a better one, she didn't have her camera out, somebody else did, so her name came off it for whatever reason, and Darrell thought, in his little conspiracy theory toddler goblin mind of the narcissistic world of the goblin Darrell, he's just I have no words. But what are you getting at?
Yes, it was a perpendicular road.
Do you recall if that side street was barricaded in any way?
I don't recall.
Do you recall if there were any law enforcement officers stationed at that
Doesn't remember
side street?
I
anything.
don't recall.
Mm.
Did you, at any time during the commotion when you and your family were at the parade, do you recall seeing anything that drew your attention in any way?
Yes,
And do you recall what that was that you saw?
a red Ford SUV driving through faster than all the other cars in the parade.
And what did you observe this vehicle doing at the time that it caught your attention?
It was honking. Well, I heard honking. I'm not positive if it was the red SUV or another car.
So he's innocent. He was honking his horn. All those people, it was their fault. What a narcissist. What was he doing to her? Oh my gosh.
Did you notice any other vehicles around the vehicle you saw, following the vehicle you saw?
Following, no. It passed a float that had a vehicle in the parade. So it was by another vehicle, yes.
And it was passing the other vehicle you're referring
Yes.
to, correct? And you stated a reference to honking.
Honking.
Um,
Honking. You reference a statement.
in your opinion, strictly your opinion,
Do you agree with me? Agree
why
with
would a
my
vehicle
word.
honk its horn?
Oh my god, speculative.
To alert somebody.
A vehicle doesn't honk its horn. The driver honks the horn.
Do you recall when I'm assuming at some point the vehicle passed the position where you were, would that be fair to say?
Yes.
At any time during the vehicle's passing you, did you see who was driving the vehicle?
No.
Probably why she didn't make the
Notice if they
prosecution
were
list. Ugh.
intense to the vehicle as far as windows?
Intense.
Can you speak up a bit?
Oh, I don't recall.
Intense. Okay. So in other words, he thought that they crossed off everybody on that list who they crossed off were people who saw these magical tints, the cloaking device, or, because they, when obviously she just didn't have a good vantage point or memory recall, or she's blocking, or for whatever reason. She's not a witness that gives efficient information to us. But get to it, Darrell. Jesus.
Do you
Just take
recall
the
if you
wheel.
were able to see into the vehicle?
I don't recall.
Do you recall if you got a chance to catch the license plate number of the vehicle?
License
no,
plates.
I didn't.
And from your recollection, when the vehicle passed you, were the windows up or down?
I don't recall.
And did you at some time report what you saw to law enforcement that evening?
That evening, I did not, no.
Did you at any time report what you had saw that evening to law enforcement?
Yes.
What's wrong with your mouth?
And do you recall what agency that law enforcement officer was from?
I don't recall. I'm gonna assume WAUKESHA, but I don't recall.
And during the course of reporting what you saw, was it more of a recorded interview, or were they writing down what you were telling them?
I was on the phone, so I don't know what they were doing.
Okay.
They probably put some kind of phone number up on TV. I don't know how TV, if they even do that anymore, that said, if you were at the parade or saw anything suspicious after the parade or in this neighborhood or whatever, call this number. There was probably like a crime number to call to do that. That's probably what she did, or maybe she, but I imagine, did they do that? People of WAUKESHA, tell us.
Do you recall if that was in the days following the incident or a little longer after that?
It was after the incident. I don't know how long after.
Upon arriving at the parade that evening with your family, did you notice any of the side streets barricaded in any way? Any of them?
Yes.
Do you recall if there were law enforcement officers at those barricaded side streets?
I don't recall.
Do you recall about how long the parade had been ongoing before you saw this vehicle?
I don't recall.
And from that point, did you and your family immediately leave the parade and head home, or?
We left, we didn't head home.
Did you or any of your family members suffer any injuries during this incident?
No.
At any time after the incident, do you recall seeing any news reports related to this incident?
Yes.
Did you keep up with those reports, or was it just that evening or the days?
Just a couple days within whatever was right immediately. I'm not a person to watch the news.
And after that initial phone conversation with law enforcement, did any more law enforcement officers follow up with you about the report?
No.
Did you yourself follow up with law enforcement after that
No.
initial report? Did you yourself observe the vehicle that passed you during the parade? Did you yourself witness anyone injured by the vehicle?
I don't believe so.
That's all I have right now.
Thank you. Any cross?
Yes, briefly. Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Ms. Reamer. Thank you for being here today.
Yes.
I'd like you to take a look at the man seated to my right, table to your left, Mr. Brooks. You ever seen that man before?
I don't consent to being called that name.
Noted. Overruled.
Yes.
Tell us about when you've seen Mr. Brooks before.
Objection leading.
It's cross-exam, so it's proper. They may leave. You may answer.
As we were driving to the parade, we were coming to a stoplight and we saw the red SUV coming down the wrong way on the road, and I slowed down because the car in front of me started to back up to left.
That's who this young lady is. She's one of those ones who got involved with his road rage. There were two vehicles, a gentleman who got out of his way, and her, she was coming the other direction. She was coming the right way on the one-way street when he was having his temper tantrum because goblin stomping through the neighborhood. He should be able to drive whatever way because it's Darrell's goblin world.
Him through.
This took place outside of a gas station, is that correct?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd ask that we display for everybody exhibit number 7. It's previously been received and published.
Go ahead.
Objection to relevancy.
Exhibit 7 has previously been received. Overruled.
Is it relevant to this particular witness?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Yes, go ahead and publish, Madam Clerk.
Ms. Reamer, can you see the map depicted on the screen in front of you?
Yes.
We're looking at the intersection of North Street and Barstow Street. Does that look correct to you?
Yes.
And is this the gas station that we're talking about?
Correct.
And you were parked on North Street facing southwestbound at the time, is that right?
Objection, speculation.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
Is that the way of traffic? I don't know.
Well, let's
So-
assume, based on these arrows here,
Oh.
Objection, speculation.
Yep.
It's not speculation.
They're on the map. Overruled. Her answer was yes, and you may ask the next question.
Madam Clerk, can we please clear the annotations? And you saw the red SUV that we've been talking about come the wrong way on North Street, is that right?
Correct.
And what happened after that?
Should I draw?
Sure, yep, that's a touchscreen, go for it.
So I stopped roughly back here as the car that was here started to reverse this way.
Okay, can we please, let's get a screen grab of this, please, Your Honor, and mark it as Exhibit 7.
It'll be C as in cat. Or Charlie.
C, Charlie, please.
It will be so,
I would have said
Marked?
cat too.
and just for the record, the green line was placed by Attorney Wichow from, as you're looking at the exhibit, left to right to demonstrate travel of a vehicle in his question, and then the witness put the yellow marks on the screen, and it will be received as 7C as in Charlie. Go ahead.
Objection to relevancy.
It's
Overruled.
relevant.
You saw Darrell Brooks driving that red SUV in front of that gas station, is that correct?
Objection.
At that time, I
consent
didn't
to
know.
being called that name, and it's speculative.
Overruled. You may answer.
At that time, I didn't know his name, but yes.
But now that you see him sitting in court today,
Yes.
that's the guy.
Yes.
Objection, speculative.
Overruled. The record will reflect
Could have been
the
my twin
identification
goblin.
as of the defendant as the driver of the red SUV she saw as depicted in this exhibit.
Thank you. May we please display for everybody exhibit number 15, which has also previously been received and published.
Go ahead.
Can we zoom in, please, on the intersection of Main Street and Northeast Avenue?
Objection, relevancy.
Relevancy.
I presume the question will provide the relevance, so go ahead.
Thank you. You were sitting in front of the Historical Society, you testified?
Yes.
And do you recognize this map in front of you?
Objection, speculative.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
No, I don't.
Okay. Would the Historical Society be near this intersection that I'm circling, East and Main?
Yes.
Okay, we can please remove that annotation, Madam Clerk. When you saw the red SUV drive by, you testified you could not see the driver, correct?
Correct.
Because it was going so fast?
Yes.
Did you ever see that SUV come to a stop at any point on Main Street?
No.
In fact, did you see it accelerate as it traveled towards more people?
Yes.
Objection, speculative.
It says, overruled, the witness may answer.
Sound
Yes.
like you was going to say substain.
And then I remembered you had called the witness, not the state. So cross-examination is appropriate. Fair enough, though. Next question.
Did we get an answer on that?
I said yes.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
Redirect, sir.
Yes.
Oh
Do you
my
want any of the
God.
exhibits up?
I forgot what the one was before
I
this.
forgot 7.
7.
7 was the map with, the gas station. This is 15. I'm going to turn it off until you tell me you need something.
I need exhibit 7.
All right, the state would put that up and we'll publish it for the jury as well.
And when shown this exhibit on cross, you stated you were approximately around. As a matter of fact, that wouldn't be fair. Can you erase that that mark, please?
It's
Were
clear.
Were you show again where your vehicle was positioned?
It's just a rough estimate, but
Okay.
probably right about here.
And where we?
That's when I initially slowed down. To stop.
Okay. And you stated there was another car that did a backing up motion. Can you show again where that vehicle was positioned?
If they were at the light going this way, backing up.
If you recall, or do you recall, if there were any vehicles in this space right here?
There was none.
Rough estimate, about how far would you estimate the distance is between your vehicle and the vehicle that was at the light? Rough estimate.
I never came to a complete stop back there. It's when I started to slow down.
So you were still kind of rolling forward a little bit?
Yes. Because they backed up and then moved forward, and so then I moved forward.
So you didn't come to a stop until you noticed that vehicle backing up?
No. I didn't come to a complete stop until we were back up at the light. I started to slow down at that point.
So where did you end up? I'm sorry, can you erase the white circle?
I can erase all of it or none of it?
The white circle.
Only, I think it's just all or nothing.
Oh, all. I'm sorry. So we'll start this again.
McGee. Let's start this again.
Where did you finally come to a complete stop at?
She didn't. At the stoplight.
And at that time, well, back up a little bit before I get to that. You observed an SUV, you say, at some point during...
SUV, you say.
At some point before you came to a complete stop?
Yes.
And what did you see that vehicle do?
Right, this way.
What did you see it do
No.
after you noticed that it was coming in that direction?
Turn in here.
Would that be into the gas station?
Yes.
And what did you see the vehicle do at that point?
Roll down their window and yell something at the car in front of me.
Did it stop?
Yes.
Was it? I'm assuming you might know what I mean by this. Was it like a brake stop or was it a park stop? If you recall.
How would she know?
If you're not in the vehicle, how do you know that they put it in park?
Well, brake stop would be brake lights, but okay.
Objection, move to strike.
Grant that, strike the last statement made by the defendant, but you may ask your next question.
And how long were you at the light?
Just a very short time. It turned green pretty quickly.
And in that short time, you were able to see who was driving the vehicle, the SUV, as you say, that went into the gas station.
Yes.
Yeah, you. Who's you?
Is that the same SUV you saw at the parade that evening?
Yes.
The same vehicle that
I've been good with
you
this.
said you don't recall if it was tinted or not?
Yes.
So at the point of seeing this vehicle at the gas station, at that point, did you notice any tints?
I don't recall.
Did you notice if there was anyone else in the vehicle at that time?
I only saw one person.
Could you see into the back of the vehicle?
I don't recall.
Can you see the passenger seat of the vehicle?
Yes.
Was anybody in the passenger seat?
No.
But you don't know for sure about the back seat.
No, I couldn't see it.
Because they were driving?
Can we take down this Exhibit 7?
Go ahead.
Can you pull up Exhibit 15? Can we pull that back up?
The state would please pull that up. We'll publish that for everyone.
Idiot.
And,
Hold on, let's make sure the jury has it.
oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you. No problem, go ahead.
And you stated that you were in front of the Historical Society.
Correct.
And if I recall, you can correct me if I'm wrong, that would be somewhere around this area here.
Yes.
Sir,
Can
was
we,
that a yes?
Yes.
Okay, thank
Can
you.
we erase that white? So the side streets, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to tap the screen. Can you erase that? I'm sorry. The side streets would be Buckley Street and Northeast Avenue. Would that be fair to say by looking at the map?
Yes, that's what the map shows.
And you
Testify
said
to
you don't
reading a map.
recall if those side streets were barricaded.
I wasn't at the intersection. The
You were-
Historical Society is at that intersection, but I was in front of the Historical Society.
So would it be fair to say you were close to the side street?
I was close, but not at it, so I don't know if there was barricades there. I wasn't close enough to be by barricades.
Meaningless.
So you stated till you ran away from the commotion, so it would be fair to say at some point you moved from your position in front of the historical society, correct?
Correct.
And do you recall what side street you went down to when you were running?
We ran up to the building of the Historical Society on the side of East Avenue.
We can, what, just really quick, so that would be this side street here.
Yes.
We could take down exhibit, is it 15?
So what?
You stated that you knew the identification of the driver of this SUV based on what you observed at the gas station, correct?
Can you repeat that?
You stated that you, let me back up. You were able to identify the driver of this SUV based on what you observed at the gas station, correct?
The gas station, I saw the driver, yes.
Do you recall what the driver was wearing when you observed him at the gas station?
At the gas station, no.
Do you yourself recall in your telephone conversation with law enforcement stating that the driver was wearing a red-orange shirt?
That was not from the gas station.
So where would that description come from, if not the gas station?
I saw video footage of you in somebody's backyard.
Oh.
So what did you observe the driver of the vehicle wearing at the gas station?
I don't recall.
All she could see was your stupid goblin head, you troll.
So it'd be fair to say that in your phone conversation with law enforcement, you gave a description based on what you had seen from footage. I guess that would be the right word to use.
The shirt color, but your description was from the face was from the gas station.
And do you recall in that phone interview stating that you weren't positive on the shirt color?
Yes.
Do you recall in that phone interview stating that
I thought redirect was just supposed to be
Since
about what
seeing
they questioned.
the news that you may be getting the clothing description incorrect?
Why are we letting him go off on all of this when I mean, it seems kind of far afield off of what the cross-examination. I thought the redirect was supposed to be about. Oh, that is too loud. Ah. I thought the redirect was supposed to be about what they asked.
I remember saying that I've seen the news. I don't remember saying that is why I muted it. It wasn't the same as when you were driving.
So would it be fair to say that your description came from watching footage at some point and from news reports at some point?
Not news reports.
But you did see this incident reported on the news?
Yes.
Did you see where the vehicle? Did you see where the vehicle went when it passed your position?
Objection. Can we just clarify whether that's at the gas station or the parade?
Fair enough. Sustained.
Sorry for that. I'll clarify.
Thank you.
Do you recall seeing where the vehicle went when it passed your position at the parade that evening?
Continued down the parade route.
And you already stated that during the parade, seeing the vehicle and not seeing the driver, how are you sure that that driver of the vehicle you saw at the gas station was the same vehicle at the parade?
I know that they were both red SUVs, Ford SUVs.
Were you yourself sure that they were the same vehicle?
They were the same model, same color, same make.
So what is the make and model, if you recall, of the vehicle that you saw at the gas station?
Ford Escape.
And how did you come to that determination based on your observation at the gas station?
Because I know a decent amount of cars.
What do you mean by decent?
I mean, I don't know all makes, but I know this one for sure because I had a friend that had the same exact make and model, just different color.
So are you yourself able to just look at a vehicle and tell the make and model?
Some, yes.
So it'd be fair to say some, not all.
Correct.
So that brings me back to the driver. You stated you didn't see the driver of the vehicle you saw at the parade. How do you know there was the same driver? I'm asking how to.
Rephrase your question, please.
Do you know if it was the same driver?
No.
There you go. No. There you go. No.
No further questions?
Okay.
I thank you.
Thank you.
You may step down. And you are excused from your subpoena.
Thank you.
It is 4:34, so we will end for the day. And I will read my instructions to the jury once again. Do not begin your deliberations and discussion of
This
the case
dumb
until all the
face
evidence
thinks
is
he
presented.
did something.
And I have instructed you on the law. Do not discuss this case among yourselves or with anyone else until your final deliberations in the jury room. This order is not limited to face-to-face conversations. It also extends to all forms of electronic communications. Do not use any electronic devices such as a mobile phone or computer, text or instant messaging, or social networking sites to send or receive any information about this case or your experience as a juror. If you come in contact with the parties, lawyers, interpreters, or witnesses, do not speak with them.
He really
For their
thinks he
part,
got a
the
zinger
parties,
there.
lawyers, interpreters, and witnesses will not contact or speak with the
Oh
juror.
my
Do
goodness.
not listen to any conversation about this case. Do not research any information that you personally think might be helpful to you in understanding the issues presented. Do not investigate this case on your own or visit the scene, either in person or by electronic means. Do not read any newspaper reports or listen to any news reports on radio, television, over the internet.
Not listening to learn. listening to respond.
Or any other electronic application or tool about this trial. Do not consult dictionaries, computers, electronic applications, social media, the internet, or other reference materials for additional information. Do not seek information regarding the public records of any party or witness in this case. Any information you obtain outside the courtroom could be misleading, inaccurate, or incomplete. Relying on this information is unfair because the parties would not have the opportunity to refute, explain, or correct it. Do not communicate with anyone about this trial or your experience as a juror while you are serving on this jury. Do not use a computer, cell phone, or other electronic device, including personal wearable electronics, applications, or tools with communication capabilities to send any information about this case. For example, do not communicate by telephone, blog post, email message, text message, instant message, social media post, or in any other way on or off the computer. Do not permit anyone to communicate with you about this matter, either in person, electronically, or by any other means. I appreciate that it is tempting when you go home in the evening to discuss this case with another member of your household, but you may not do so. This case must be decided by you, the jurors, based on the evidence presented in the courtroom. People not serving on this jury have not heard the evidence, and it is improper for them to influence your deliberations and decision in this case. After this trial is completed, you are free to communicate with anyone in any manner. These rules are intended to assure that jurors remain impartial throughout the trial. If any juror has any reason to believe that another juror has violated these rules, you should report that to me.
How do you live there and
If
not go
jurors
down
do
Main
not
Street?
comply with these rules, it could result in a new
Like,
trial
I feel bad
involving
for these
additional
people.
time and significant expense to the parties and the taxpayers. You are to decide the case solely on the evidence offered and received at trial. With that, we'll see you all tomorrow morning, and we'll begin at 8:30. All rise for the jury. Thank you. Be seated. I know, Mr. Brooks, I think you wanted to make a more full record just regarding the timing of that last witness. I'm not going to put all of the details on the record. We made a record in closed session just due to a privacy issue related to that witness, and I required you essentially to call that witness out of the preferred order that you had given her availability. I believe you wanted to put on the record the information you initially had from Attorney Opper was general about her unavailability on Friday, which was the day, as I understand, that you preferred to call her, and more information was provided today. I don't want to get into the specifics, but would that be a fair characterization of kind of the discussion we had outside the presence of the public?
Yeah, that's fair.
Anything you want to add to that?
Nah, just it pretty much sums it up.
Okay, good. So,
I felt that it would be, thinking about it as everything was happening so fast, I was just like, yeah, it probably would be best to, take the procedure that she's having into account, because it could be.
I don't want to go into that while we're still in the public record.
Right.
All right, due to her privacy rights. But I appreciate your understanding with that and calling her. I did require you to call her out of order, but I appreciate your understanding and of that. I don't think there's anything else I need to cover at this time, unless there's something from either one of the parties. From the state first.
No, but we would like some further direction from the defendant as to who he wants here tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon, if he wants us just to continue that list that he originally provided, or if there's an update. And we could do that off the record, Your Honor. I don't know that we need you involved, but
Thank you. Then hopefully the parties can figure that out without me needing to be involved further, but anything from you, sir?
No, I'm just gonna say with that, I'm not gonna put them in specific order.
So
Not looking for the order, but we're behind given the timetable and the understanding between, as I understand it, between you and the state.
State has the list.
So generally speaking, you've been taking about a half an hour, I would say, for each witness. At least that one took about 35 minutes. If we go on that schedule, do you think, understanding we take a mid-morning break, a lunch break, and a mid-afternoon break, I would think we could get through at least 3 to 4 tomorrow morning and 3 to 4 in the afternoon. I'm gonna have the parties be available for that and be ready for that. Whatever order, but
All the parties?
yes, both you and the state.
So at this point, there's no telling what witnesses will be here tomorrow, right?
Well, based on the groupings that you gave to the state, it sounds like we got through only one from each
Right.
kind of
One-
category. So we'll go back to the first would have been Thursday morning. You need to call the rest of Thursday morning. Was there 2 left
Right.
of that?
Yes, correct.
So
And so let's do Thursday morning and Thursday afternoon. The people you designated, I'm going to direct the state to have here tomorrow morning. That's 4 witnesses. Whatever order of those 4.
5. It's 5, but yes.
5?
We'll have them here,
Um,
based on your original list.
And then, how many does that leave? Because I'm not
that's what I'm trying to
doing
figure out.
good with math this
4.
late in the day. 4, so 4 in the afternoon then. So our hope is to get through all your witnesses
I can say this
tomorrow.
for the record. One witness I intend to call tomorrow is not going to be 35 minutes.
Fair enough. Do you plan to call that person in the morning or the afternoon?
I'm leaning towards the afternoon. That could change depending on the flow of the morning, I would guess. If the morning goes pretty...
Can you tell me which list they were on when you gave it to the state? Was it Thursday afternoon, Friday morning, or Friday afternoon?
Darrell, you're questioning them, not abusing them. We all know you're talking about Erica. We all know you're talking about that poor girl. Now, come on.
I didn't put them on days, but I believe they were in the maybe the second floor names. If
You just
that
want to tell me who
helps.
it is so we can prepare so that person is told to come in the afternoon rather than wait through the morning?
I don't want to say who it is.
Oh, he's so
I want the
gross.
person to be here when here.
Look at that ooh. Ooh. Gross. Gross. Oh, look at that face he's making. Oh my gosh.
And we're ready to go, but
They were here today, if that helps.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know who it is. It's Erica Patterson, Your Honor. There's no
Maybe.
mystery here.
Maybe
all right,
it is,
that's
maybe
what I
it isn't.
would have. That's kind of who I thought.
Oh,
it
now he's
would
going to
be as
get
well.
mad.
So,
I'm going to have her come tomorrow afternoon. Then I'm
okay,
not
we
gonna
will
her
have
come
you
in the
here at
morning.
1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.
So
Your
we
Honor.
need
Thank
to be
you.
mindful of people's schedules.
Thank you. We'll have everyone else here at
That's
8:30.
interesting because what if that was not who I was referring to?
Then you need to tell me right now so I can make an alteration to that.
Come on, Judge.
Come on,
Sir.
Judge.
We're
Come
at
on,
the end of the 3rd week of trial.
So
I
can we
need
at
to
least
keep
be
this
fair?
moving
Can we at
along.
least be fair and say that's not due to me though?
That would not be 50.
What? How is it not due to you? How? All of your temper tantrums. All of your temper tantrums. Darrell. Oh.
To say
How?
it's
How? The state said that they needed 5 to 7 business days to present their case. Did they or did they not say that on the record?
Day case.
and there's
So how
it doesn't
did I-
matter how we got there at this point. I'm trying
Then they
my
need to chop,
darndest
chop.
to get all
They
the
need to
witnesses
chop, chop.
done. So I'm directing the state to have Miss Patterson come tomorrow afternoon.
If that's
and the
what I was
other
referring to, which
witnesses,
I wasn't, but everybody think they know what I'm thinking.
then you need to tell them if it's someone else, and if you want her here in the morning.
I'll
then
say
that-
this. Everybody that was here today that didn't get called, have them here tomorrow. So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people.
And you need to tell me who you want in the morning, not by the order, and who you want for the afternoon. Otherwise, I'm going to make the order that I just made.
No, how you gonna make the order for me?
Under 906.11, sir.
No, you can't. I can call. I have the right to call them in the order
Well-
that the state didn't have to have an order. And I'm guessing.
Actually, the state did have an order. They just didn't have to have everybody involved holding their hand, calling them and telling them what day to have those people there and what time to come. Yeah. They had an order. And they went by the order.
No, but the
Correct me
state's
if I'm wrong, but
helping
I'm-
you out in terms of the order,
They were helping me out with serving.
and
the
they're helping you.
subpoenas. Not the order of how I would call the witnesses, but the subpoenas. And I gave the state.
Do you want to be responsible for calling each person tonight and telling them what time they need to be here, or should we let the
See,
state
here we
do
go
that?
with this again. There's something that's impossible to do.
That's not true. You have
How's it
access
not
to
true?
a phone.
So somebody's gonna answer a collect call from someone they don't even know. Nobody in this courtroom will answer a collect call and pay for a phone call from
not
somebody
my
that you
understanding
not
of
know.
how it works at the jail. That you can.
Yes.
There's other means to make phone
There
calls.
is no other way to utilize the phone.
Well, maybe I'm wrong on that, but be that as it may, the state is helping you out. This is to make tomorrow go as smoothly as possible, to be effective, to be efficient, and to use all of our time wisely.
Your Honor, with all respect, I did what was asked of me to
No.
do. I provided them with the list of the witnesses that I will call. And I
Cool.
stated before that I would not put them in order, and the state accepted the list that I gave them. So why, at this point, is
Who are
everything
the witnesses who are here
being
today?
a problem?
Douglas Kohler, Detective Guth, Erica Patterson, Christopher Bertram, and Jason Hayes were here today, in addition to Miss
It's
Reimer.
exhausting.
Miss Reimer's now done. Nicholas Kirby was also here today. He's done. If we are going to continue to assist Mr. Brooks in getting these witnesses here, we need to have a reasonable time schedule. These witnesses don't just show up by the tooth fairy. We have to communicate with them. They have jobs, they have families.
Thank you.
I've explained this 3 times to Mr. Brooks.
They're not
If he
goblins.
wants our assistance,
Objection. She can chill with all
He
that. She can
needs
chill with all that
to-
tone.
Hold on,
Because
hold
on.
we
I
can
know
get
it-
on that if that's what it is.
Hey, I
We
know
can
it's been a
definitely
long
get on
day.
that.
Let's keep this civil.
That's
Get
what
on
I'm trying
that.
to do, but
So
she gonna have to tone it
Get
down.
on that.
I think
Get
both
on
of
that.
the parties are getting a little
For real.
frustrated.
Get on
I'm getting
that.
frustrated. So,
Get
I'm
on
Kohler,
that. Ooh, they can do
Guth,
nice.
Hayes, Patterson. I missed a 5th.
Bertram.
Guth is a police officer, right?
Yes.
I know who Eric Patterson is. How about Kohler, Hayes, and Bertram? Are those citizens?
They're citizens that relate to the parade, I believe, and post-parade. Not the DV.
It seems to me that even with one of the witnesses taking more than 35 minutes, that doesn't fill up the whole day. So we need to have some other people on that list for the afternoon.
So I will just continue to work in the order of the list that was provided. Your Honor, I think that's the only reasonable thing we can do at this point. Or we can do it alphabetical, or we can do it by random lot, because I don't know really what else to do.
By the list that was given.
What was the order of the list that you were given?
The first 3 were Kirby, Kohler, and Guth. The next line has 3 names: Patterson, Bertram, Hayes. The third line has 3 names: Reimer, Aldrich, and Lescano. The last list has 2 names and then also reads the state of Wisconsin.
First 3 people on the list you need to advise to be here tomorrow at 8:30.
Okay?
The next 2 people tomorrow at 10:30. The next 2 people after that tomorrow at 1:30. The next 2 people from there at 3:30. And then do I have anyone left over from there?
No. Yeah.
One more?
No.
If I have to go late tomorrow, then I would say the last person can be at 4:30 if need be.
Yeah, I agree. We would very much like to get through the defense witnesses tomorrow, Your Honor.
I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Well, that's the order that I'm making in terms of the times people need to show up. That gives you a range of people to select from.
I'm gonna have to see that what you're referring to then, because
Well, I trust you wrote it down because that's what I did.
I
So
didn't. I
we
didn't
are
write it
done for the evening. We'll see everyone tomorrow at 8:30
all right.
a.m.
So if they don't
I
get called like
did
that,
it.
don't try to blame it on me.
Don't try to blame it on me because they didn't give it to me. They didn't give it to me. Oh, thank goodness we got this. Hey. Thank you for joining. Like, subscribe, dislike, make a comment, share, whatever it is you feel. It's a easy, no judgments. Everybody has their own opinion on some of these things. Onward to day 12. Onward to day 12 soon, very soon. Bye, Patty Jo out.